Hey friends, it's Ashley from the Candle Collective, and I'm bringing you a video today that is really going in a few different directions, but it all kind of comes back to one in regards to us as small business owners. So whether you're a candle maker or something else that fills in the blank, as a product-based business, let's say, I feel like one of these three areas of this topic is really going to hit home for you guys, and hopefully it'll be insightful in a way that you could take something from it, and or you can leave me a comment below because maybe you just strongly disagree. But first and foremost, my name is Ashley. I'm a serial entrepreneur and I make candles on this channel. I've been sharing with you guys the highs and lows of running this candle business and sharing with you guys my experience as a business and an entrepreneur of just what I'm doing and what I'm learning from and what I already knew that has worked well or maybe isn't working with regards to this forum that I have. Let me try and whittle this down to make more sense for you guys. But a lot of times I'll ask you guys to leave questions or topics of videos that you would like to see. And I didn't really think that each of these topics deserve their own video, and maybe someday, depending on the feedback I get from this video, maybe they will be their own. But I wanted to kind of just parse out three different things that I felt like were similar enough that could go into one space. And so just hear me out. A lot of times as a product-based business, I get an Instagram message or an email that says, hey, I am an influencer and I would love to work with your product and insert all of this. I have so many followers and I will only charge this much, or we can do a free exchange, so on and so forth. Or I get hit up for things that are local, and there are hey, our school's PTA is putting on this fundraiser and I was just wondering if you'd be willing to donate some of your candles for our A, B, and C cause. So I feel like those are somewhat in a similar category, so I'm going to touch on that. The other one that I wanted to talk about is just marketing to our customers in general, and what are things that we can be doing as a industry and as fellow makers to support other small businesses while not getting in the way of what they're trying to do while marketing. So I guess all in all, it's under the umbrella of marketing, but it kind of flows into this topic of influencer marketing, customer giveaways, and free product marketing. And then this other one of peer-to-peer, girl, where did you get that? I need to know immediately, even though you're talking directly to your customers. I don't really care. Please tell me this information. It's all under marketing, so I want to talk about it. So the first one is that influencer deal, right? So let's say you get hit up on Instagram or Facebook, whatever platform you're using, and it's hey, I'm this influencer. And let's be honest, no one's necessarily doing anything wrong. I more often than not get those inquiries on Instagram. And I will tell you, I don't do them. I just simply don't do them. And that might be to my own business's growth and reach demise, but I don't work well that way. I want to work with people that I have a relationship with. I want to work with people that I feel are vested in me, I'm vested in them, and it is a true collaboration. And influencer marketing has just unfortunately fallen short of that for me, and so it just simply has not worked. I've tried it. I have an affiliate code, and it just doesn't work. I might just be very hard-nosed about that. So often I get a wild hair and I'm okay, maybe I'll try this one and done approach. But more often than not, I have been found that the results are lackluster, and it does seemingly come across as though the other party is wanting to receive something, and it does feel one-sided, and it doesn't actually have an ROI that is fruitful for my business or my legwork. And I'll just say that. Now, let's say that if you're a brand new business and you don't have that kind of hard stance on this topic and you're wanting to try it out, here are the things that I would say for you guys that as the product business and the person that is being requested upon to give free product, these are the P's and Q's that I would definitely make mention of. I would make sure that that person has a legitimate following as they are promoting themselves to be in their pitch. They have 10,000 followers. You want to go onto their likes and on their last few posts and make sure that there's actually an engaged community of people. And what I mean by engaged is that do 5 to 10% of their total following, are they engaged? Are they commenting? Are they interacting with their brand? If they have 10,000 followers and their last post only got 13 likes, that more than likely means that they have actually fronted some cash to make sure that they have a healthy following count, and then they are just perpetuating this lifelong dream of being an influencer. Now, I would probably promote you to say, like, if there is somebody that has a healthy count of, an influencer can have 1,000 followers and they can have like a really engaged, and when I say engaged, people are commenting, people are liking, people are sharing. That actually is going to be more fruitful than the first analogy that I gave you. And try it. I would ask them, like, how are you going to promote this business? How are you going to promote these products? What do you think of the products? Like, have you purchased these products before, or are you just asking for free products? And if you are asking for free products, how are you going to use these products, and how are you going to share that with the customers? So like, really hold people accountable for when they're asking for free products. Nothing in this life is free. I think that we know that with the bottom line and the margins that we're all calculating at the end of the day as product business owners. So those are some things that I just wanted to share with you guys, and what my stance is, because I do see these a lot in the Facebook groups and things like that, where people like will post a screenshot of somebody reaching out to them. And while it is absolutely flattering, I get it. Like, you're on somebody else's radar. I just think that it is totally allowed and accepted for you to do your research and kind of push back on that person and be like, okay, if you're wanting me to do all of this, I want to know what you're going to do with it. And I just think that that's fair. Personally, for me, it's a no. I am always open to having my mind changed, but it just hasn't successfully been changed yet. Then the other part of this is like giveaways and people requesting for free products. And this is kind of hard for me lately because I feel like, there's different seasons to my business, right? So there's times when I'm like feeling really good, the numbers are coming in, like profits are good, and you're kind of riding that like high wave. But then there's also times when things are like kind of slumping down, they're getting a little bit slower, you're feeling a bit of like a scarcity mindset, and it's like each candle for itself, like needs to stand on its own and be accounted for. And I found that I haven't really found this like nice little equilibrium in the middle where I feel like I can confidently like make a stand and stay there, whether the highs are highs or the lows are lows, and dependent on where I'm at in that season. I just haven't been able to balance it out. I have noticed that a lot of times locally, I will have people that will reach out and be like, hey, our school's doing this fundraiser and we're putting these giveaway baskets together. And first and foremost, I know their intent is pure and completely from a mindset of, yes, you would be doing me a favor, but I am promoting your business and I think that it would be something great, and we would ask that you would give us this free product. And more often than not, it's completely harmless. There's nothing being done that is wrong. But I have found that, especially like towards the end of a school year, I think last school year counted that I had like 32 inquiries of like people's PTAs or fundraisers or school like soccer leagues or anything like that were just like coming in the masses, and it was super overwhelming. And at the end of the day, I just can't do that. I am a product-based business. I am for profit, and I need to, at the end of the day, mind that business. I'm sharing this because it kind of goes in line with that influencer marketing, where it's like a customer is trying to then get your name out there. And while I think it is great, it's kind of like towing the line of like, how much is too much, and where do you like say no and where do you say yes? And the rule of thumb that I've kind of like fallen back on is that if it's an organization that falls in alignment with my mission and our ethos at Upside, then I am always going to make sure that I can contribute in some sort of way. Whether that be through a digital gift card, or whether that be through like a product of some sort. Even if it's a product that maybe I'm not moving quickly, that's one that I will always be first and foremost giving up, or the one that is just the least expensive for me to make. I will always kind of like size it up. I even ask questions of like, okay, how many people are going to be in attendance? Is this for you guys to like auction off? Like, how does this work? And it's okay to ask questions back when somebody's asking for your product and how it's going to be used. And the rule of thumb, like I said, that I've always done is if it's in our company's mission and ethos, like if it has something to do with mental health, more often than not, I am giving. But if it's something that is, for a soccer league that they want to add to a basket, not that that's not important business. The next rule of thumb that I look at is if they have been a customer of mine in the past. And I even kind of feel cringy saying that because it's like, well, you give to me, then I give to you. But at the end of the day, if it's not something that's been tied into my business, like the mental health aspect, then I do want to go through that tier of, okay, have I been hit up a lot this month? And if so, then has this person, supported my business maybe in the past, no matter how big or small? And then that way I kind of go through that checks and balance. And then who knows, maybe sometimes they've just caught me on a really good day. We've had a really great month, and then I'm just in the giving spirit. I'm sitting on a lot of inventory, and then I do say yes. But let's say for that end of school year example where it's just been a lot of people and a lot of influx of, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you give? Can you give? Can you give? And then it's unreasonable at a certain point. And unfortunately, I have to turn some away. So that's so far been my rule of thumb. I met with another local business maker or business owner recently. She's not a maker. She runs a spa here in town. And their company ethos is, no matter who reaches out, we say yes. And I got like chills whenever she told me that. And I really hope to, at some point in time, be that business, that it doesn't matter who, what, where, when, why, that I'm able to say yes. At this point, it feels a little scary to draw that line in the sand and just completely, fully jump into that deep end of the pool. So this is the best that I could do at this point. So if you guys have something that you have found that's a really good balance, I would absolutely love for you guys to leave the comments below, because maybe you can even tell from my body language that it feels like a little of a taboo topic or a weird topic for me to like make a final like decision and answer on, but this is the best that I can do so far. So that's the second like tier and area of like marketing that I feel like this is kind of like fallen into the umbrella of. And the third one is I'll get my confidence back because I feel very strongly about this topic. And this one is more of like the peer-to-peer relationship. So candle maker to candle maker, or soap maker to candle maker, or whatever your product or industry might be. These ones kind of like fall a bit more in alignment. We live in a world of influencer marketing. We live in a world of sharing and how do I get my hands on that, and kind of like one-upping and whatever else you want it to be. I fall victim to this all of the time. And I look back on when I first started candle making, and I did this. Like, I have done this in the past. And so if you feel very seen by me taking this stance right now, I apologize. It's okay. It's all a learning experience, but hopefully you can like see this video and then like move forward with it. I personally cannot stand when I have these different outlets of sharing. For instance, YouTube, I created the Facebook group, the Candle Collective, because I want to have open forums for peer-to-peer learning where we can share openly and we can like have the correct venue to do so. And I've been very open about this. Like, my Instagram for my company that I don't share a lot of the name of on these channels or these outlets for a reason, is because my business is for my customers. It's not for other candle makers. And I know that that sounds like very harsh and very like, but it just simply is. And that's okay. And I love whenever you guys do come and you buy a candle, and I appreciate that so greatly. And I think that that goes a very, very long way with me. But it's just simply, there's just two different audiences. So when I am on Instagram and I am sharing things about like my market setup or like anything that is like my candles or my product or whatnot, or my behind the scenes, it is all talking to my customers. It's all talking to potential customers and people who might have a love of candles, might want to learn about the scents, might want to learn about our mission, might want to learn about anything to do with my business. And so a lot of times, and I'm directly addressing this because it's come up a few times, and recently I've been told that I was gatekeeping on a direct message, which is the farthest thing from the truth and actually comical, because clearly they did not know about this channel, which is totally fine. But they had said that I was gatekeeping information because I didn't answer their question directly on social media. I do not answer candle makers' questions on my business Instagram. I just don't. I don't feel that that is an appropriate place for me to tell people how I am producing a product and running a business. I just don't. And I can see where the lines would be blurred, but I feel like if, as the person who is wanting the information, would just sit back and see, okay, this is someone's business page. This is where they are promoting and running a business. And then this is where they're sharing about how to run a business. It's very different, and it seems clear as day to me, but I get where it might be a little muddy. But I think as peer-to-peer learning situations, and where we're like cultivating this growth and like trying to be better candle makers for other candle makers and sharing that, we have to stop asking those questions on people's business pages. We wouldn't go on Walmart's Instagram page and be like, where do you source that product? We just wouldn't. We wouldn't go on, I saw like Pottery Barn's really cute like fall decor come out, and I see like all these things of people being like, oh, DIY, do this Pottery Barn fall decor. You wouldn't see that person go on Pottery Barn's Instagram post and be like, where did you source that skeleton? Wouldn't. So I don't know why we are doing that to other peers in our industry. I think we've like really diluted those lines, and I think that we just, and to no fault of our own, I think that we just get excited. I think that we see something, we want it for ourselves, and that's okay. That's human nature. But we need to, send a direct message. Like send something offline, send an email. Like all of the contact information is there. If you want it bad enough, go Google the keywords of what the thing is that you're seeing and find. There's some candle makers out there that are really big and that I see their products, and I see more of those questions coming in, and I think it's because we are such a DIY industry. So I see those questions coming into those product pages, but I'm like, man, if you put that context into another bigger brand like Walmart or Target or anything else, like why is it different? Like we don't ask those questions to them of like where those suppliers are. So like why are we doing it to our own? It's just a question that I have. So I do understand that, it's all like a learning curve, and I think that there are some familiarities where people are like, oh, she's a maker like me. And I absolutely love that. I love that we have that commonality, being mindful and respectful of like, at the end of the day, we're trying to run a business too, just like you are. And so it's not gatekeeping. And I am full disclosure. I provide links, I provide everything, but I also I have some boundaries as well. My therapist said boundaries are good. So that is like the third kind of bucket. I know that each one of these, like I said, are vastly different from the other, but I felt like all of these kind of tied into one another in this video. And then if you guys want to hear more of like a certain piece of it, the influencer marketing, the giveaway marketing piece of it, and then the, peer-to-peer marketing, learning, sharing, let me know, because I'm happy to obviously like ramble on more about either one of these topics. But I just wanted to share that insight and how I'm doing those things. And then I would love to hear how you guys handle them, especially in regards to the influencer marketing. Maybe there's like a big piece that I'm missing about the giveaways. When people hit you up for that free product for their fundraiser or something that they're doing more on a local basis. If there's like a rule of thumb that you felt is a good balance for you, I welcome that feedback. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, my name is Ashley. If you haven't yet subscribed, I would absolutely love to have you here along this journey with me. And until next time, bye-bye.